What's up, everybody? This is Chris with Life Support.
And this is John from Street Psychologist. What's going on, Chris, man? Hey, brother, saw your video earlier. Looked amazing. Getting out there, getting some fresh air, taking care of yourself, soul, body, and mind, doing your thing, walking around. It was really super cool. Love you. You're getting in today's crazy world. There's just fewer people doing that, and they need to realize that they've got to start taking care of themselves and stuff like that. So I don't know what's good on your end, but I got my baby wipes right here. I got my hand sanitizer. I'm getting. How are you sitting out there where you are? What do you got?
Well, I'm good, bro. This is all I need, man. I'm good to go, bro.
You know what? I think you're wrong, brother. Look, here's the deal. You need to start thinking about this, man. You need to get more of that. Where's that at?
What?
Yeah.
Okay, bro. Okay. I think I know what you're saying, man. I think I know what you're saying. Okay. So, so what are you trying to say, John? Tell us about it, John. What do you think? So we got this coronavirus thing going on. It's getting really out of control with the media. Doctors are saying, you need to use hand sanitizer, or if you don't have that, use rubbing alcohol, this yabba dabba do. What do you, tell me, John, like, what do you think, people should really be doing? What should they be stocking up on? Talk to me, Goose.
I think there's a layer of implications that come with it. And some of that, you do have to take seriously. The president's declared a state of emergency. We have several states that have done it. There's a lot of countries that are reacting right now based off of what's going on. Stock market jumped back up and looked pretty decent.
Yep.
But it's hard. I think the reason that this is such a good subject for you and I to talk about is because the implications that are here, you can apply to almost everything else in your life, And so if you look, China made some big moves. France shut down restaurants, bars, cafes. Israel followed them right up. Overseas is a little shaky. We're starting to look at like more travel restrictions and bans. And so, when if you're out and you're buying extra cases of water, or you're buying out extra toilet paper, all stuff you're going to use anyway, so who cares? Be prepared, because you don't know, maybe one of the 4 power grids goes down, right?
Right.
It could be a natural disaster that happens. I think that the mortality rate on this thing is so low, and it's caused so much fear that our media, the media, they want you to stay tuned into their channel. So sometimes they create a lot of your stuff so that their ratings get up and their sponsors become more, they want to advertise on there. We want to do that. But, like you and I always say, with your military, you always keep your head on a swivel. Pay attention. This too shall pass, right? I think you and I both agree about this.
Definitely.
When this whole thing's gone and over with, and the summer comes and this thing moves on, there are still going to be people out there that are going to be raping, robbing, stealing, doing all the simple stuff that they've been doing forever. It's just the way that it is. So, just make sure that you're prepared, for whatever is going on.
Right.
Do I think that this is a pandemic that ends the entire world? And no, you don't.
Nah.
But, you got a story, tell your story about that moron who was like trying to make fun of you at the, for just buying water.
Right. So me and Josie the other night, we're just, because I had been talking to you, John, on the phone, and you were just kind of like, because, you kind of have some connections up there with the State Department, and you were just kind of being briefed on some of the things that were going on, and you were telling me. And so I was like, all right, well, then we need to go. And actually, this was a week ago. Okay, this was a week ago. And this is before all of this stuff really started getting crazy. So, like, if you went to Walmart, there was water there. There was plenty of water.
Yeah.
And
Right.
Josie and I actually went to Walmart, like, I think that week, and we talked to you, and everything was there. But we didn't get a single thing that you told us to get. So fast forward to now. So yesterday, we had been talking to you throughout the week, and then we kind of realized, okay, yeah, maybe we need to grab some stuff, and so we went to Walmart. Everything was out. I mean, like Walmart, they have a whole aisle that is just water. That's all it is. It's just water. And everything was gone. I think there was like a couple cases of like flavored, water, and so we didn't get that. And then they had what I've been seeing at Walmart is like this iodized like water. It's like special water that's like enhanced water, and I don't think anybody bought that crap. So I'm not paying $3 for a bottle of water. Anyway, so we were kind of like, all right, where do we go? So Josie wanted to go to BJ's, which is basically like a Sam's Club or a Costco.
Right. Yeah.
So, and that, it's all the way out in Delaware. So I was like, well, but it was late at night, and like, from where we are, it takes like 30 minutes to get out there. So I was like, by the time we get out there, it's going to be closing, and there's no even guarantee that they have it. So I was like, all right, well, across the street, we have a Food Lion. So we went over there, Food Lion completely empty. And so we were like, all right, forget it. We'll just try this another day. So as we were leaving, Josie goes, well, what about the Lowe's? Because there's, a Lowe's there. And I said, well, I don't really know. And she said, well, we should check. So I said, all right. So we pulled in and checked. As soon as we walk in the door, there's a pallet of water, and it's, 32 pack bottle of water, over at Food Lion. Actually, no, Food Lion did have water there, but it was expensive. It was expensive, and just for like a standard 24 pack.
I was about to ask.
Yeah,
that.
It was like $5. It was like $9.
Exactly. Are you seeing kind of out there where you are that people are starting to pimp people on prices and gouge people on certain things? Are you seeing that out there?
Yeah, I read online today that people were selling bottles of Purell for $100, and people were buying them. Yeah, that's crazy. So Josie and I just said, all right, well, let's just go check someplace else. If they don't have it, then we'll come back and get it. So like I said, we walked in there, and they had these 32 cases of water for $3.99. So we were like, cha-ching, and we bought the whole entire pallet, which was like 10 cases. So I'll fast forward a little bit. So we're going down the aisle with this because I had to grab some other stuff. I'm trying to fix some things in her house and stuff like that. So as we're going down the aisle, a guy that works there, he's just kind of like standing there, and he says something to me about the water, and I don't remember exactly what he said, but I said, you think I got enough water? And what he said was, why? Why do you need that? And it was in a way like, why are you taking this so serious? It's not a big deal. So I replied to him. I said, yeah, it isn't really a big deal because the world isn't going to end. But if people continue to buy these things and they're constantly out, let's say 6 months down the road, I want to go buy a thing of milk. I want to go buy water just because I like to drink water.
Yeah.
Be able to buy it because it's not. I'm not stocking up because it's the end of the world. I'm stocking up because I'm afraid 6 months down the road, I may not be able to just stroll up into the old Wally World and, grab a cart and roll down to the water aisle and grab it like I did a month ago. That may not realistically happen. So like there are going to be people like all the time. And like immediately what came to my mind when he said that was like, all right, dude, well, when the world, takes a shit, like you are going to be unprepared. And then you're probably going to think, dang, like I really wish I had a different attitude about it. What do you think about that? So
I think that I'm probably wrong here, but I'm going to go ahead and say it anyway. That the best way to describe that human being, I believe the Latin term is victim. That's how that guy gets treated, right? I mean, they walk around, they want to run their mouths and say, hey, and it's all, look, you're going to use these products anyway. So who cares?
Right.
All you're doing is you're either prepared or you're not prepared. I tell people, you know, based off of my life experiences and the things that I've gone through, that there are certain things that will just help you get a little further down the road. And if you're going to be at the, if you, actually how I describe it is I tell people this, and this was based off of one of the shootings that I was involved with in Colorado. I tell people, if you cannot meet or my level of violence, then you're going to succumb to my will. Yes. So protect you and yours. This goes into recovery. I mean, you could apply this to any different part of your life. There is no knight in shining armor that's coming to save you. The only person that gets to save you is you. So if you're a proponent of that and you'd like to be in a good situation, then start acting like it, right? Lions walk with lions for a reason, you know. I mean, I tell people all the time, you either walking like a lion or walking like a lamb. But sooner or later, everyone's going to figure it out. So decide which one you want to be. And if you take a little extra precautions by grabbing some extra hand sanitizer, some different things, that have some food on standby and some water, I don't think that means you have some underground bunker. I mean, I don't know that this is a big apocalypto thing. I'm with you on that. I mean, I don't think this is a thing. It has a very low mortality rate. Of the roughly, I was looking at some stats earlier, of the roughly 67 to 70 million people that are going to die this year are going to die from heart attacks and strokes, more because they didn't get out and do what you did today, which was go walk around, right? You're in a beautiful part of the country. They have historic buildings. You're out getting fresh air. You're doing your thing. If you think that hiding somewhere is going to be the best thing for you, you'd better have the knowledge to know that it is. And if we were in a true pandemic, I would tell people, and you're seeing events, right? So South by Southwest was canceled. You know, the NBA basically canceled. Spring training canceled. You know, what I'm kind of almost more concerned about is we're almost 1 inch away from martial law, you know. So we've already started to see some of the National Guards get activated, and it's over something that's killing 2% of the population. Now, I understand being over 50 and having a low white blood cell count, that there are precautions that I need to take. So I need to do that, right? I mean, you got to be smart about it. So I'm not out doing goofy stuff, but I'm also not flipped out about it like you aren't, right? You need to get out and get that fresh air, like you said. And if you guys haven't checked out Chris's video, I'm going to tell you something. One, that was a video that needed to be released today, because you all need to see that, you know, hey, get out, get some fresh air, get some exercise, do your thing, take care of yourself. It helps your mind, it helps your body. And there's nothing wrong with that. So if you're going to invest into anything on a Saturday, a beautiful day, if you've got a day that you can just get out and go do your thing, man, go do your thing. That doesn't mean that you have to put yourself at some gigantic high risk. You can just go walk around and get fresh air. I think that's good. The second thing I loved about your video, and this is why you guys got to go watch it if you haven't seen it, he literally ends the video by going, and wash your hands. And I thought that was so funny, because I was talking with one of my girls up in Denver, and she was telling me, she's like, you know, everybody's freaked. She works at a restaurant bar up in Denver, and she was saying, she goes, you know, everybody in the restaurant, they're all freaked out about this virus. She goes, but when I go in to check the restrooms that they're all using, there's no paper towels in the garbage, like nobody's washing their hands. You know, and it's like, if you're that concerned, wouldn't you, in a public place, or if you got done doing your business, whatever that might be in that restroom, wouldn't you at least wash your hands? I mean, just, you know, it was just, the way you said it was just perfect. It just made me laugh. It was just really good. It was a great message. I think all of us have a responsibility there. You know, if you have elderly people. I know your grandmother, and by the way, I just want to say, saying prayers, for grandma and all that. Yeah, for sure. Look, if you have elderly people, take care of them. I'm not getting any younger. I know that. If you got young kids, take care of them. We may see things continue down this road of, and again, can be of whatever political background that you're from. I'm not here to dictate anybody higher power or political background. I'm just simply here to say, yeah, they may jump out and try to be in front of this a little bit more. And so that could affect interstate travel and commerce and different things like that. So it's the layers of implications, right? And that's just kind of where we're at. So I think that it's important for us all to communicate as much as we can and share knowledge, even if you're just throwing something out there, right? Like, so if you were to call me, you and I talk almost every day.
Yeah.
Anyway, if you were to call me and say, hey, John, we're running out of this or that or whatever, this is kind of what I'm seeing or hearing, and this is what's going on. I appreciate the phone call. So people all the time, man, educate yourself. That's what you have to do, right? Yep. You can't rely on one of these major news sources to be your everything because they're trying to keep people tuned. So you got to start thinking. I hope that makes sense, but what's your take?
I mean, I don't watch the news. I mean, I don't have cable. I have Hulu, and like I have their like best package where you get like 60 plus channels, and I could watch basic cable pretty much. But I don't really, I just don't watch it. Mainly because I don't try to get caught up in the hype and the media stuff. And, because when I do that, when I do those things, then I'm not focused on really anything else that's important in my life. Like right now, I have midterms. I'm in college right now, and that's really important that I do that. I've also got a grandmother that's in the hospital, and I got spring break next week, so I'm maybe trying to get home. I've got a lot of things that are going on. So for me to get caught up in the media thing and then stay in the house and be all like scared and depressed and, worried, like that isn't constructive at all. Like that doesn't do me any good. So I think that's why I made the video today, because it was just another really nice day. And I just said, hey, I'm going to just get out and take a walk. Plus I needed to grab some stuff from the store anyway. So it all just kind of worked out that way. But I watched a little bit the other night with Josie, and some of the things that they were talking about is the best thing to use, Purell and all that stuff isn't even the best thing to use. The best thing to use is just basic antibacterial hand soap. So all these people are running out and buying all these like crazy expensive, like super, like high-tech, awesome, like hand sanitizers and stuff like that. It's just like, go buy a bar of gold antibacterial soap, wash your hands, take a shower, and you should be good. And if you want to take an extra precaution, and I think this is smart, buy some, latex gloves and put them on. If you're leaving the house, put them on, especially if you ride the bus or
city transportation, right?
Wear them, you know what I'm saying? And then when you get home, just take them off, throw them in the trash, or before you get in the house, throw them in the dumpster and then get in the house. I think that might be smart. It's not too over the top, but it's just careful enough that, you're not going to touch a surface and then touch your face, or touch your surface and then shake someone's hand and then they touch their face. Because that's just how a lot of things get spread. People don't know that they have it. And one thing I do know that I did watch was they had a test for it, but it takes several days to find out the results, because these places, they have to take the test and then they have to ship it out to someplace. Well, then University of Omaha, Nebraska, my alma mater, they have finally made a test that comes back within 2 to 4 hours. So basically, the patient comes in, they do the blood work, whatever they do, and then it immediately goes to their lab. Well, now, see, the thing is, University of Nebraska Med Center, that's an educational medical center. So it's one of the larger ones in the country. So, like, they have everything there. There's the hospital, but then there's everything around it is all medical campus. So they have everything there. So they just shoot it right up to the lab. And, I think it's kind of careless to take tests from somebody that you think might have it, send them out to go home and be like, we'll call you when we have the results. And they're walking around in public.
Right, exactly right. They can be infecting 100 people that day.
Right, you know what I'm saying? So, I think that's very, very careless. So, if you can get a patient that comes into the ER, gets tested, and they do not release them until they know whether they are negative or positive. And if they're negative, they send them home. If they're positive, then they quarantine them. So I think the way that we handle it is ultimately going to be how this whole thing goes. It just always seems like crazy viruses always start in China. I don't know. I don't mean to it just always seems like they do. Right.
We knew that SARS had left their laboratory, and it's like, you guys just let people just wander out with the disease? Did they put this in a little viral thing and then carry it out? What are you people not doing? But and I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theory person here, but I think what China has done is kind of leveled the playing field, and so they've made some power moves now and some different things. They're kind of like trying to smear the United States by, saying some certain things. And it's like, you're the ones that keep screwing this whole thing up. You need to fix it on your end. And if we're looking at this realistically, I think the CDC, the stats were that I pulled, were that they estimate that 1.3 million people will be infected by this before it's over. Now and you and I have talked about this, it's not an automatic death sentence. Just because you get it doesn't mean you die from it. It's not an automatic done deal. There's a lot of people that are going to fight through it, recover from it, and they're going to be fine. Where it starts to become a problem is that once you start hitting those numbers, there's just under 1 million hospital beds in the United States. So if you took the people that are prone to heart disease, cancer, different issues, and now you add a staggering amount of number on top of those, how many of those people could you effectively treat, and triage and be good about it? That does become a problem. I think that's why you're seeing a little bit of the hysteria. Everybody's like, well, going back to you buying water, the guy's like, why? It's no big deal. It's no nothing. It's like, well, maybe it's not. But if it is, I'm going to be prepared.
Right.
Always better to be prepared, right? And again, you're going to drink the water, right? Whether that's you and your girl and the fam and everybody and doing whatever. So it's really just having your head on a swivel as far as I'm concerned, and just, you should be doing that with everything.
Right.
This, like we said, this too shall pass. But eventually something's going to screw up somewhere down the road. So why not just be just a little bit more aware of what you're doing? If you have to have a hobby of maybe spending a little extra more money on a case of water or toilet paper or whatever. And, you and I even talked about, if you're not one of the preppers, or, they think that everybody that's a prepper is like this end of the world, end of days person, it's all going to, it's just all about being prepared. And we understand that because of our military backgrounds and the places we've been in and what we've done. I tell the story, people always laugh at me. They'll say, you know, if you can't find toilet paper, walk to the produce section, and it may be a thing of cabbage that you're using to stay sanitary, you know. And that sounds nuts to people who are like, that's crazy. You know, why would you ever do that? Well, you know, you got to get some water on your squishy parts every now and again, and you got to maintain your hygiene. And what were we taught all from day one was, you know, you change your socks, change things that are closest to you, your undergarments, make sure that you're doing the right things and all that. And so I just tell people, be as prepared as you're comfortable, you know.
Right.
Do it as you see fit. But anyway, go ahead. What you were going to say.
No, I mean, so I think, and also I watched, so like in the past, like I said, I don't know a lot about this stuff because I just don't follow it on the news. I never really have. But they said like some of these past things like bird flu and I think SARS and stuff like that, when it started to become warmer out, they started to kind of see a decrease in the virus. But, you know, they explained that the virus can go dormant, and then once it gets cold again, it can come back. So, you know, there's no – we don't know what's going to happen. We just don't know what will happen.
Oh, we don't know. You know, one of the number one questions people ask me is they'll say, hey, is this thing man-made or not? And I'm like, I have no idea. I mean, I just couldn't tell you. I mean, I'm not educated enough to know how exactly it came to be and how we got to exactly where we got. There's a lot of theories out there, and everybody's entitled to their view of that, and that's all good. And again, I just go back to the same old thing of the only person that gets to take care of you is you. So just make sure you're doing that. If you are taking care of yourself, if you are taking care of the people that you love, and you're protecting them, then no matter what happens, so you can throw this virus out the window. No matter what happens, the Hoover Dam goes down and all the power gets shut off in LA. If tornadoes level Nebraska, if a tsunami hits, I don't know. I mean, just put whatever to it you want. It doesn't really matter. You almost have to take it out of the equation as far as I'm concerned, because I'm more of a just I don't care what happens. We got to where we are. Now, how do we get better right now? You know,
right.
And if you're not in that mindset, well, then I go back to that victim term. So, kind of where I'm at. But yeah.
So, I mean, like what you said there, what immediately comes to my mind, and probably a lot of other people, you know, is 9/11. You know, old Bin Laden, you know, flew a couple planes into our building, killed a lot of people, and pretty much, you know, just kind of tried to put us against each other. And, you know, we all kind of came together and got better. Unfortunately, coming together in this situation, and I'm talking, you know, like literally, probably not a good idea, more figure of speech. But, you know, just, I mean, over just the whole timeline of from when, you know, the Earth, you know, the Big Bang, and you know, however you believe that it happened, you know, what, even from a religious standpoint or a scientific standpoint. I mean, there's been a lot worse stuff that's happened. I mean, for one, the Black Plague, you know, the bubonic plague, a lot of people died from that, and like that's a pretty horrible thing to get. If you got it, there's a very, very good chance you're going to die. So, you know, and I mean, the world recovered and people got on with their lives. And, you know, hundreds of years later, look where we are now. So, like I said, you know, I don't think that, you know, this will be end all. But my opinion is that I think we are our own worst enemy right now. I kind of think, like, let's just say hypothetically, you know, that the United States, you know, it does become like a apocalyptic type thing. Like, I mean, in my opinion, I think that it's because of it's our fault. I think we did it to ourselves. I think that, you know, the media hyping things up causes chaos and people get scared. And when people are scared and you're backed into a corner, some people, they they may cower and, you know, cover up, and then you have some people that come out swinging like a wild animal. I think when you put people in that situation, it makes for very ugly things. So I don't think the media, they just don't really understand what they're creating and what they're really doing to the country. I think, like, yeah, they're trying to increase their ratings, but, you know,
yeah. Have you ever heard somebody? It always cracks me up when I hear this. I hear somebody say, "Oh, I'd never eat that," and I'm like, "You've never been hungry before." Because
right.
you'd be surprised what you would do to once you get into survival mode. It's gonna change. Yeah. So there's a lot of different variables out there, and yeah, man, I'm just glad we got a chance to do this episode, man. I think it was good, I saw your video, and good to see you out and about and doing your thing, and again, to wrap it up, man, I mean, prayers to your grandmother. I mean, you know, always your family to me. So I hope you know, she gets better, and I'm glad we just had a chance to talk about this and just, you know, talk to everybody. You know, if you're out there watching, listening, there's a lot of different implications to this, a lot of different layers, and you can apply it to a lot of different places in your life. And so one last time, man, I mean, if you haven't seen Chris's video, please go check it out. I'm John from Street Psychologist. Just let them know about you.
Yeah, guys, this is Chris from the good old Life Support. Thank you, John Boy, for this toilet paper. You know, appreciate that. Shout out from Colorado. Caught that like a boss. So, you know, I mean, that's a 1,300-mile throw right there. I mean, look at that right there. So, I also want to make a shout out to JoeandJillTroia and his, you know, supplement product, Zeal. You know, if I'm going to put the information in the description below, definitely check that out. We also so we just heard it from John's friend. Tell us, who did you hear it from? The song from Blue Edmondson. Who did you hear that?
Yeah, Blue Edmondson. Yeah, so he did a song. It's called "Finger on the Trigger."
Right.
Both of us have put that on our personal Facebook pages. Yeah. We're going to make sure that it hits all social media markets.
Yes.
And you guys kind of check that out. And that's just a good heart check to all of our brothers and sisters that are serving but are still hurting. And, you know, that old saying, you know, one is too many. We don't want to lose anybody else. And if you get the chance to check the song out, it's a super cool song. And I love it.
Man, yeah. I love it. It's great. It's great. It doesn't even necessarily have to be for veterans. I mean, really, I mean, everyone
can relate to that song to some degree, probably.
In any type of way you want, you know. It talks about, you got to listen to it. It's an awesome song. So, anyways, guys, I know St. Patty's Day is coming up, so everyone, please be safe. Don't drink and drive. Wash your hands. You know, and just. Yeah, guys, just love life. Try to get out of the house. Don't try to feed into this media stuff. I mean, maybe some of it's true, maybe some of it's not. But, like, at the end of the day, we all want to be happy. We all want to live, you know, decent lives and enjoy them. Even though the circumstances may not be good, we control ultimately how we feel. So if you're letting media or something else control the way that you feel, then that's the way you're going to feel all the time. So get up off the couch right now, go outside and just stand out there and just smell the nice fresh air. And yeah, you know, this, like John said, this shall too pass, and this too shall pass. And yeah, guys, everything.
Hey, you got to give them the final. Let it be known.
Yeah, guys, so you better let it be known that John
right.
Casey and I, we're keeping an eye on things, you know. So, and let it be known, you take my goldfish, and there will be hell to pay. So
that's right.
I'm saying,
coming for you.
So, all right, guys. Well, time's up here. I don't know what we're gonna do next week. What are we gonna do, John? I think we were talking about maybe something about perspectives.
Yeah, I think so. This was kind of a lead-in, I think, to probably what we'll do next week, which is just, you can have a perspective on all kinds of different things. So it may be a part 2, a part 3, and it won't necessarily maybe be about this virus. We don't know.
Right.
I told everybody, the next 7 to 10 days will tell us a lot about kind of where we're at and what's going on, and we'll just kind of, do that. And again, like Chris said, man, I know St. Patrick's Day's coming up now. Look, my last name's Casey. I get it, but don't get out there and get all crazy, get thrown in jail,
right?
Because it ain't no fun. You don't want to be eating a dry bologna sandwich every Thursday.
Nope.
So, do the right thing, do the responsible thing, get you a ride, and take it easy. And remember, New Year's, St. Patrick's Day, Cinco de Mayo. That's the night of amateurs, so you got a bunch of drunk people on the road. And I know you all have heard this saying a million times, but I'll just say it again. There ain't nothing good ever happens after midnight.
Nope.
So get home.
Yeah,
get home and be safe. All right.
That's all the time.
Love you guys. Thank you.
All right, guys. Love y'all. That's all the time we have. So please check out our channel. Let it be known. Life Support and Street Psychologist. We're out there. We're here to help. And we're just using our own personal experiences. So everyone have a good, safe, fun weekend, and we will catch you guys later.